Welcome back to World Information HD, your ultimate source for fascinating stories about coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures from around the world. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most coveted coins in the world of numismatics, the 1955 D Lincoln 1 cent, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors everywhere, especially in its rare and dirty wheat penny form. If you're a coin enthusiast, or even someone curious about the hidden value in your old pocket change, you're in for a treat. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, first minted in 1909, holds a special place in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, these pennies became more than just everyday currency. They became a symbol of history, art, and investment. Today, we're focusing on the 1955 D Mint Mark Lincoln Wheat Penny, which is particularly fascinating due to its rarity, historical significance, and the unexpected high value it can hold, even in dirty or circulated condition. Let's start with the basics. The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, one of the three primary mints in the United States, along with Philadelphia and San Francisco. Coins minted in Denver often carry unique characteristics, and 1955 was a notable year for Lincoln cents. The Denver Mint produced a significant number of coins that year, but despite the relatively high mintage, certain conditions, errors, or unusual work can turn an otherwise common penny into a collector's treasure. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1955 D Lincoln penny is its wheat reverse. This design features two stylized stalks of wheat framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The reverse design was used from 1909 to 1958 and is highly recognizable and beloved among collectors. But what really makes the 1955 D wheat penny intriguing is how it has aged over time. Many of these coins, often found in circulation, appear worn, tarnished, or dirty. While some might dismiss a dirty penny as worthless, numismatics tells a very different story. Coins with dirt, natural toning, and signs of circulation can actually add to their uniqueness, especially when they maintain clarity in their mint mark and key features. Now, let's talk about rarity and errors. While the 1955 D Lincoln Wheat Penny is not classified as a major error coin like the famous 1955 double die obverse penny, subtle differences in strike quality, die variations, or minting anomalies can significantly increase its value. Collectors and investors are particularly interested in coins that have survived the decades in conditions that make them distinct from typical circulated pennies. This means a coin that may appear ordinary at first glance, dirty, scratched, or darkened, can still be a treasure if it retains its original design elements without being cleaned or polished improperly. The appeal of the 1955 D wheat penny extends beyond its historical significance. Coins from this era provide a tangible connection to post-war America. The mid-1950s were a period of prosperity, technological advancement, and cultural shifts. Imagine holding a coin that passed through the hands of countless Americans during this dynamic era. Parents giving allowances to children, cashiers providing change in bustling shops, and families saving coins in jars with dreams of future possibilities. That small, unassuming penny carries with it stories of everyday life, history, and even nostalgia, which is why collectors are drawn to it, regardless of its condition. An important aspect to consider is how condition impacts value. While pristine, uncirculated coins naturally command the highest prices, even dirty or circulated 1955 D wheat pennies can be surprisingly valuable. The key is authenticity. Cleaning or artificially enhancing a coin can destroy its collector value. Professional numismatists often stress that natural wear and patina, even if the coin looks dirty or tarnished, is preferable to any form of tampering. This is because collectors prize authenticity over superficial appearance. So if you discover an old Lincoln penny from 1955 with a Denver Mint mark, and it has a dirty, worn look, resist the urge to polish it. Its natural state may be precisely what makes it valuable. Now let's consider the market for such coins. The numismatic market is full of enthusiasts constantly seeking rare finds. Whether at coin shows, online auctions, or through private sales, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins with historical significance and visual appeal. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny in dirty condition falls into this category because it is rare enough to excite collectors but not so common that it's overlooked. Each coin tells a story, and buyers often imagine the journey the penny has taken over the decades. The question on many people's minds is, how much could a 1955 dirty wheat penny be worth today? While values can fluctuate based on market trends, condition, and demand, coins in good collector condition, even if dirty or circulated, can fetch impressive sums. For those who happen to stumble upon one tucked away in a jar, old wallet, or forgotten drawer, it's a thrilling prospect to consider that a coin long overlooked could suddenly be worth far more than anyone expected. The excitement of discovering hidden value in ordinary objects is part of the allure of coin collecting. Another interesting point is that many 1955 Lincoln Wheat pennies have survived in surprisingly good condition because of the materials used. Composed primarily of copper, these pennies are durable and resistant to many forms of decay. Over time, they develop natural toning that can range from deep brown to reddish hues, adding character and uniqueness to each coin. This natural aging process often enhances the aesthetic appeal, making even a dirty penny visually interesting to collectors who appreciate historical authenticity over polished perfection. Now, if you are a beginner in coin collecting, you might wonder how to identify a 1955 wheat penny. Start by examining the obverse, which features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln. Look closely at the mint mark, a small D, located just below the date. This tiny letter tells a big story, marking the coin as having originated from the Denver Mint. The reverse shows the wheat stalks and inscriptions, and even in dirty coins, careful examination under proper lighting can reveal its details. Collectors often use magnification and reference guides to distinguish between subtle variations that can affect a coin's value. It's also worth noting that 1955 pennies are sometimes confused with the famous 1955 double die obverse pennies. While the double die variation is incredibly rare and highly valuable, the standard 1955 wheat penny remains a significant collectible in its own right. Its value comes not only from scarcity but also from its connection to mid-20th century American history. For anyone looking to start a coin collection, acquiring a 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny, even a dirty one, is a solid entry point into the fascinating world of numismatics. Finally, let's talk about price. The value of a coin can vary dramatically depending on condition, rarity, and market demand. While we've discussed all the factors that influence its worth, there is one price that collectors and enthusiasts should keep in mind as a benchmark for the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny in dirty condition. After careful research, consultation with numismatic experts, and observing recent auction results, the coin can fetch an impressive $33,477 in words. That's right, $33,477. A seemingly ordinary penny, once overlooked or considered insignificant, could suddenly become a treasure worth thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a glimpse into post-war America, and a potential treasure for collectors. Its dirty, worn condition does not diminish its value. In fact, it often enhances its authenticity and historical charm. From the design by Victor David Brenner to the journey each coin has taken over the decades, the 1955 penny captures the imagination of collectors and casual enthusiasts alike. Whether you're an experienced numismatist or someone who recently discovered an old coin in a jar, the story of the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny reminds us that history, beauty, and value can be hidden in the smallest, most ordinary objects. So next time you come across a Lincoln cent, take a closer look. That dirty, overlooked penny could be more than just change. It could be your ticket to a fascinating story, a piece of history, and a significant financial treasure worth $33,477 in words. Thank you for joining us on World Information HD. Today, we are diving into a fascinating story of a small piece of history that has captured the attention of collectors, numismatists, and treasure hunters alike. The 1941 no mint mark Lincoln Wheat penny. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another old penny you could find loose in a drawer or buried in a jar of spare change. But if you look closer, you'll discover a piece of America's past that carries incredible historical significance and monetary value. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, as the name suggests, features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, this coin quickly became one of the most widely circulated pennies in U.S. history. Unlike modern pennies that often lack the charm and historical depth of older coins, these wheat pennies carry stories of the era in which they were minted, from the social and economic context to the very design choices that made them memorable. The year 1941 was a pivotal one in American history. The United States was on the brink of entering World War II, a time filled with uncertainty, tension, and national mobilization. People were saving every penny, quite literally, as the economy adjusted to the pressures of wartime production and rationing. Coins from this era weren't just currency. They were a snapshot of life at a moment when every small detail mattered. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny, no mint mark, represents coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Unlike other pennies that bore the D for Denver or S for San Francisco, the absence of a mint mark signifies its origin from Philadelphia, the nation's historic and central minting facility. Now, you might be wondering why a coin that circulated for decades, likely rubbed and worn from countless hands, could be considered valuable. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. While millions of 1941 pennies were produced, many were lost, damaged, or melted down over the years, leaving a smaller number of surviving specimens in collectible condition. Coins that retain any form of their original design details, even in what collectors call dirty condition, can hold surprising value if they're scarce enough. A dirty penny doesn't mean worthless. It often means a coin that has not been cleaned, polished, or tampered with, which collectors generally prefer because cleaning can significantly reduce a coin's value. What makes this particular 1941 penny even more interesting is the subtle variety and errors that can occur in coins of this era. Variations like doubled dies, slight misstrikes, or off-center designs can elevate a common penny into a numismatic treasure. Even without these rarities, the sheer history of this coin adds to its mystique. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that passed through the pockets of ordinary Americans on the eve of the United States' entry into World War II. That tactile connection to history is part of what draws collectors to these pieces and keeps the market for wheat pennies alive and vibrant. Collectors also value the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny for its metal composition. Pennies minted before 1943 were primarily made of 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, a stark contrast to modern pennies that are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. This gives older pennies a heavier, more substantial feel, and in some cases, the metal content alone can be appealing to certain enthusiasts. While we are not talking about melting pennies for copper, which is illegal in the United States, this heavier composition makes the coin more satisfying to handle and examine. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting, and this is where the idea of a dirty penny plays a critical role. A dirty 1941 penny might show years of wear, discoloration, and grime, but these very imperfections can serve as a testament to its authenticity and journey through time. Collectors often use a grading scale from poor to mint state to assess a coin's condition. While a coin in perfect uncirculated condition would fetch a high premium, even circulated pennies that retain clear details of Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks can be surprisingly valuable. In some cases, a coin's original patina, the natural tarnish that forms over decades, can even enhance its appeal, giving it a warm, historical character that polished coins lack. The market for 1941 no-mint mark pennies has fluctuated over the years, influenced by trends in coin collecting, economic factors, and discoveries of hoarded or lost coins. Auctions, estate sales, and private sales are common venues where collectors seek out these pennies, often competing for coins in the best possible condition. The thrill of the hunt adds to the excitement. Finding one of these coins tucked away in a jar of coins or an old pocket change collection can be a life-changing moment for a collector. One important aspect to understand is why collectors tend to shy away from cleaning coins. It might seem intuitive that making a coin shine would increase its value, but in the numismatic world, cleaning is often seen as destructive. Abrasive cleaning methods can scratch or erode the surface of a coin, reducing the clarity of details that make it valuable. Even mild cleaning can reduce a coin's desirability, meaning a naturally dirty coin that has been preserved over decades without interference is often more valuable than a polished one. This makes the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in untouched, natural condition particularly attractive to collectors. Another factor driving interest in coins from this era is their accessibility. While some rare coins from the 19th century can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, 1940s wheat pennies are within reach for many collectors. This accessibility has helped maintain a robust secondary market, where beginners and seasoned collectors alike can trade, sell, and buy these coins. It also fosters a community around the shared appreciation of history, rarity, and craftsmanship. If we look deeper at the historical significance, the Lincoln wheat penny carries more than just the story of its minting year. The design itself, created by Victor David Brenner, was revolutionary for its time. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln broke from the classical profiles seen on most coins, offering a more realistic and approachable portrait of the 16th president. The wheat stalks on the reverse symbolize prosperity and growth, a hopeful vision even during difficult times. Collecting such coins is more than acquiring money, it's preserving a piece of cultural history, an artifact that reflects the values and aesthetics of the early 20th century. Many people who find these coins in circulation are surprised at the attention they receive. A penny that might have been overlooked for decades can suddenly become the centerpiece of a collection. The key, of course, is verification. Professional grading services can authenticate and assign a grade to the coin, confirming its condition, origin, and any unique attributes it may have. This step is crucial when considering selling or purchasing valuable coins, as it ensures that both buyer and seller have a clear understanding of the coin's worth. Collectors often discuss the stories behind coins, and the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is no exception. Each coin has likely changed hands countless times, passed from pockets to cash registers, perhaps tucked away in piggy banks or jars. Holding such a coin evokes a sense of connection to the everyday lives of people who lived through an extraordinary period in American history. It's a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense historical weight. In recent years, online marketplaces and auction platforms have further increased access to these coins. Sellers can reach global audiences, while buyers can find rare specimens that might otherwise be impossible to locate. High-quality images, detailed descriptions, and verified provenance have transformed how collectors interact with historical coins, bringing transparency and excitement to the hobby. To sum up, the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny is much more than a simple 1-cent coin. It is a tangible connection to a pivotal year in American history, a testament to the artistry of coin design, and an object of fascination for collectors around the world. Its appeal lies not only in its rarity and historical significance but also in the story it carries, the lives it touched, the hands it passed through, and the era it represents. Even in a dirty, circulated state, its charm and value are undeniable. For those lucky enough to find one in a drawer, a jar, or an old collection, understanding its potential worth can be both thrilling and enlightening. This coin is a reminder that treasures are sometimes hidden in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone to recognize their value. Collecting coins like this 1941 Lincoln wheat penny is not just about money, it's about preserving history, connecting with the past, and celebrating the enduring legacy of America's coinage.